Hello, everyone. Welcome to our town hall and underground invitational. Please give us a moment to spread the news and the link so we can have people join. Just 1 second. Yeah, so the link should go out shortly. Today it will be me and Nick because Fahad is still enjoying his time in Japan, although from what I heard, its enjoyment might be a broad definition here because vacationing with 4 kids is definitely hard work as well. But he's not able to join given the time and just the setting not being right. But he'll be back in 2 weeks. And then for the invitational, we'll have Troy join us. We found a MacGyver solution to his problem with microphone, so hopefully we will get his lively entertainment and commentary without any issues. Yeah, so let us wait a few minutes until it's shared. See, we got another question, so I'll add it to the Amy. Oh, it's already there. Perfect. I see the link was posted by Rachel, which is great. Let me also retweet it. Oh, I see we start having some people. Hi, Craig. Hi, Troy. Hi, Tomo. Hi, Jerome. Hi, Foxhill Stables. Luke. Good to see you all. As I was saying earlier, for those who listen to recording, so they don't just have a quiet first 5 minutes, this is our town hall number 32 and the underground invitational number 16. We will try to combine as usual. We will have Nick for the town hall and then Troy for the invitational, hopefully. Otherwise, it will be just me, which will be much less exciting. So we'll try to make sure that that happens. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Mountain Mike. Hi to those. Cool. I think we can start because obviously people can also watch it later. Let me just put it in a full screen and we will do the usual, right? So the development updates, marketing updates, ask me anything or ask us anything, and then the invitational. Hopefully it will not be a super long one, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I haven't seen too many questions, but if there will be more coming, we'll obviously try to address all of them. Okay, Nick, I think I'll leave it to you.
Yep. I made something cheeky in there. You'll see it. But basically, we've been doing some more of the personalities calibration, basically the strength of the effect of the jockeys on the mental stats of the horses. what I did was basically I just built a test race where I could calibrate that. So I'm not saying the final numbers are in. I'm just saying I've got a good tool to calibrate it, but I'm waiting till nearly everything is done to calibrate everything. Right now, right now the test races give reasonable results, so I'm okay with that. And when all the mechanics are put in, I'm gonna just make sure that we respect normal statistical performance metrics for all the horses, and that the personalities of the horses and the jockeys have sufficient effect so that it does come into play. And that, all of that is fun and calibrated properly. But I cannot do that until everything is in. I do it kind of grossly, like just gross adjustments so that everything is kind of in the right ranges. But I'm gonna have to do fine adjustment at some point. So I'm just building the tools and making sure everything is ready for when everything is close to being final. And I had a problem with lane switching where technically I messed up, where your horse could accelerate as fast, like 90 degrees, to do lane switching as when it accelerated forwards, which was of course dumb. When you lane switch, basically you're taking your forward momentum and you're just switching it a tiny bit to the left, right? So it should be proportional to how fast you're moving forward. So I made that correction. That made the races start especially behave much better. So that's super nice. And I put hidden mechanics in there. I guess I just want you guys to know that there's stuff to discover by looking at your horse race that we never talked about, that we will not talk about, and that slightly affect the races. And so as much as we've given hard numbers for the physical stats to make the game more approachable so that you guys could play with something and have hard numbers, there's also a market, and I think an interest in looking at your horse race and kind of figuring some of those things out. So those are things with lesser impacts, but they're there are impacts to those mechanics, and they will affect your horse racing. So those you've got to try different things, try different races, figure out, hey, it seems like my horse is behaving better in those races than I thought it would, slightly, right? So those could be figured out by playing a lot and looking at your horse and establishing quality performance statistics. And that is modeled like in real life with a bit of randomness as to how well your horse is feeling that day. And, different things that come to you're never 100% of everything when you start a race, right? So your horse could be feeling weird or anything. So there's a bit of randomness and a bit of hidden mechanics. So hopefully that will add depth and fun. In the viewer, so I've put work in that, but I cannot elaborate. In the viewer, we are building more camera modes. I'm really glad we've got our game designer is a horse racing enthusiast, and so he's given me like, okay, like on TV, you've got this camera, you've got this camera, you've got this camera, and he's given me all the cameras that exist in real horse racing. Of course, we're gonna do cool things because it's a virtual game, so we can afford cameras that you probably wouldn't do in real life, but we want to at least hit the cameras that you guys are expecting. So we've got all the tools to build a bunch of ways that the cameras can follow the horses around. So we're just calibrating. I keep saying calibrating. We're just making them so that they behave correctly and then you could switch through multiple camera modes. JPS Fahad is in Japan. And we're working on the UI, an improved design of where the information is, like the little dots running on a race, so that the mini map kind of thing, where you can see the progress of the horses. You can select a horse to see like where its current position and its furlong timings, stuff like that. So a bit of UI thought, revamp, making sure we're showing the information that we planned on showing. And on the blockchain, which is what you guys don't see, is we've finally got everything working on the testnet servers. So we've got 2 server working for our testnet implementation, and they're fully functional. So next week I'm doing initial connection of app and testnet server, making sure everything behaves correctly, and then we'll be very close to, at least for us, running the first race using the UI, which will be very cool. Hopefully I'd be reporting that first UI implemented race in 2 weeks on our end, right? Internal, like me doing a race with my own horses. So that's it for dev.
Thanks, Nick. There is a quick question that is a repeated one. I don't know if you have any better answer than 2 weeks ago on that one, but I thought I'll share it. So any idea when closed beta might begin?
Any idea? Still don't want to say a date, right? Because we'll be testing it ourselves, and then either it will be all nice and neat and we can just roll it out slowly to people, or there might be a few issues. And with coding, issues could be very small but take a while to fix. So, I mean, it's always just sad to say a date and then not meet it. So I'd say soon, but a real, like, kind of very soon thing.
Cool. And to elaborate, JPS, so Fahad is still traveling with the family in Japan. He'll be back for the next one. Yeah. Just
There'll be a way to change the camera modes with a button in the viewer, or you can set it to automatic, which will hopefully do cool things by itself.
Right. A few small updates also from Craig, because I think there was a question. It kind of answers the question. I'll come in later. I don't have it on a slide here, but there was a question if we are updating white paper anytime soon. And it's a bit of like the way we were looking at this is to focus on kind of creating a full gaming guide, right? Which is more about how the game will behave and have all the details. But ultimately, it's just a naming convention. So we might want to turn it into white paper format because we know NFT projects do have those regularly or always. So we will have to look into that, how we want to proceed. But there's a lot of work being done right now in terms of balancing and planning and making sure we are adding some potential options and features that Craig is bringing to the table, which maybe have not been thought of, both from the game balance, but to some extent also from game flow in a way, or how it looks, how certain data is presented. So this is kind of happening in the background. Sorry, wrong direction. So on the marketing and community side, we do have the Underground Invitational. We'll run it straight after this town hall with 3 sets of races. We have 42 horses that qualified. We'll have quarterfinals, top 4 moving to semi-finals, and then finals. But before we do finals, we thought we'll do a little bit of fun for those of you who are here with us live at the show. So after we finish semifinals and we will have the top 8 horses ready to race, we will post a link here in the chat and ask you to predict who will win, right? So you will, it will make it simple. It will be names will be 1 to 8, and you just have to select which of those 8 it will be. We'll give probably a few minutes, talk a little bit over it, give you a chance to answer, run the final, and not only top 3 horses will win something, but if anyone guesses correctly, if there's more than 1 correct guess, we'll do a quick lottery, but there will be silks for the winner. There's a question from Mountain Mike. Mike will put it after I finish on the marketing side. There's not much more actually. So there is also a new article on the website about the skins. Go check it, share it with others. We just thought that it's good to kind of bring back some of the basic stuff so people can remember what this is all about, and some of those elements which we maybe not be talking as much recently because we focus more on the game development, etc. So those are the updates, and then MEA. So let me start with Mike. How many tracks will there be at the start, and what are the names? So the plan is to start with one track, but that doesn't mean there will be only one type of race, right? The track is all. We have more than one that is already designed. We actually have 6 of them designed. We have one that is pretty much, and Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pretty much done from the development side. I think you've seen it in the trailers. Of course, there's some polishing that's happening. We do have assets for the second one, but we want to first finish the first one and let it go, have it there for the start. But as I said, like for this, you will have different lengths of races of the same track. There'll be, I think we can even do clockwise and counterclockwise to make it a bit more fun and exciting. So there will be, a decent amount.
Yeah, there'll be a single track mini races, but that's for the initial racing launch on the testnet. Then if by the time we finish testing, there might be another track or something when we release the game on the mainnet, we don't know that exactly, but we'll be trying. Once we launch on the testnet, we'll be trying to get another track online, and then we'll be building the content like one after the other. I'm not sure if that's accurate what you said, Marek. I don't know that we can go clockwise and counterclockwise on the same track just out of principle.
Okay.
But some tracks might be clockwise and some tracks will be counterclockwise.
Right. Okay.
So probably the first track will be only counterclockwise currently.
Cool. Let me get this one from Tomo. The simple answer is yes. Like, to be frank, right now we are doing a little bit more of the core education stuff. So having the articles in place, which might not be that exciting for all of you here who are super entrenched with us and supporting us from a long time, and you understand every single detail of this of this design of this game. But we feel that once we started getting a bit more traction, it will be easier to be able to point people not to the white paper, right? Because the white paper is, it's great to have, but it might not be might not be best for every single person out there, right? So we have separate articles on courses, stats, jockeys, skins. We'll be adding a bit more. And to be very frank, yes, once we started getting to the point where beta is out there, and there will be more materials to share, we will definitely want people to get on it. We will expect people to also give us feedback. Beta is beta; it's not going to be perfect, but I think that will give us the real life action materials that we need. And that's where we can definitely talk with quite a few, creators. We do have solid connections with some of the Cardano creators on YouTube. Spaces are not ideal because you cannot really post videos there or do live kind of presentation, but we will definitely do a bit more of that. We've not really talked yet about going broader to like a gaming community. That I personally think will be a little bit harder because it's a specific type of game, and I'm ignoring here the fact that 98 or 9% of all gamers think that NFTs are scam. But yeah, we'll be looking into that. I remember we did talk to a few projects on Cardano who were planning to go to more mainstream kind of connection with mainstream gamers and NFTs. Sadly, the projects that I've talked to, I don't see them anymore, which means probably this didn't go as planned. But yeah, we will be doing more of that, and other activities. And once the game is fully live, meaning not beta, but like a proper release that is smooth, or as smooth as it can be at that stage, we'll be definitely also trying to go a bit more broader, as we talked, right? Like, we don't want to stick to Cardano and NFT only, but I kind of see it more going towards the horse enthusiasts than maybe even the gamers, or like the gamers who stream, because typically gamers who stream, they stream a different type of gaming. Okay, let me quickly jump to the next one that I already covered. So I hope that kind of answered the question. This one is a bit of a long one. I'm happy to take it, and let me, and Nick, there's some technical stuff here, so please jump in. But starting from the very bottom of the Fluid. So Fluid, for those who don't know, they just launched, or are, I think they already launched, or are about to launch, the ability to rent NFTs. And the way it will work is that it's some kind of magical smart contract with Franken address that basically means that the NFT appears in the wallet of the person that is borrowing it, but that person is not able to sell it. And it's a great question. Would that work for Equine? My understanding is yes, and definitely the guys behind Fluid already hinted at that, and we'll definitely have that talk when the time is right, because that opens the possibilities towards that. I think longer term, when we have time to look into this, we also would like to have an option where people could kind of borrow it and then maybe share the winnings, or stuff like that. But I think for now it's a cool opportunity. Nick, I don't know if you want to expand a bit on that.
Yeah, well, I've reacted to their posts on Twitter recently and looked at the transaction they posted for their tests. For now, like you said, it remains in the owner's wallet, or it goes into a smart contract. It goes into a smart contract and it points towards your staking address. So it shows up in your wallet even though it's in the smart contract, which is okay. And for Equine, for a lot of stuff, you need to send it from where it is to itself to prove you own a skin, a jockey, anything. So that would probably work as long as we can make sure to reattach the same datum that was there so that the smart contract does not lose track of this asset. So for proof of ownerships, when you rented an asset, that should work with a bit of work on our side, but not too much. For racing itself, I'm going to be discussing with, well, the dev actually DM'd me after the discussion on Twitter. So we're talking on Discord, and I'm going to look into how this could be done, but basically you would send it from the smart contract into the Equine racing smart contract, and then it would go back to the renting smart contract. There's a few questions and all of that. So we'll be discussing it, and I think the point of Web3 gaming is exactly this. Hopefully we would not have to build our own lending smart contract, right? Somebody would make a really great renting or lending smart contract that works for all the games, right? That would be the best. That's interoperability, which is what we want out of Web3. That's one of the only points that makes it better than traditional gaming. It is having third-party tools that can be fully trusted, because it's actually trustless. You don't need trust. It just works because it's been audited and it's been built in a secure way. So I'll be in discussion with, I'll say it like that, I'll be in discussion with any project that builds a really good renting or lending algorithm, and we'll make sure to build our own opinions of them and go forward to making our projects work together, right? I'm not supporting them. They're not supporting me. We're just making sure that everything works and jives well together, which is, I think, the point. But I do jump on those opportunities. I think it's just a very good idea to have all of that work as well as possible, right?
Yeah, especially, well, of course, we also want those contracts to be fully audited and stuff, and I know Fluid Team is
Yeah,
working on getting it done, so it's not there yet. But yeah, obviously that's, I think, big part of it. That's also why, you know, the CIP 86 exists, is because we felt like, yes, it's useful for us, but that sounds like it could be useful for others. We want to share it. So if others build something that we can use, why not, right? Like it would be silly not to benefit from that.
right.
Um,
Just quickly. Sorry. Complementing this answer, Troy says you rent a mare and then you get to keep the foal. Uh, that would be you being exceedingly vicious or clever and renting the mare right across the end of the month so that the foal drop happens while you've rented the mare, and then it would be dropped into the smart contract instead because it's dropped on the mare in Cardano, right? So it'd be dropped in the smart contract. I don't know what would happen. We'd have to make that clear. So those are kind of the edge cases that we'd have to think about. Also, like if your rent uh, expires while the horse is stuck in our smart contract waiting for a race, what happens? Like, do you still get the money? Like what? So, you know, there, like I said, there's a few questions about all of this, which I'm thinking about, cases that could happen. But yes, there's a few things that could happen.
yeah, and the rest of the question, it's a long one. So we, to be very open and frank, we haven't really discussed any particular extra functionality for people holding more horses or holding specific combinations. I'm not against having that on Discord and maybe doing some small giveaways, but then also personally, so I haven't discussed this with Nick, Fahad, Zach, but like I'm also a little bit cautious on like um, on doing something like that, right? Because it's like that benefits mostly people who had a bit bigger, deeper pockets, right? Or more invested, of course. But like we'll have to see. That's not important. I mean, it is possible, right? Like we discussed that option of having different races based on certain criteria, and the criteria could be, I don't know, a stable with 50 horses at least. But then I don't know how exciting that will be, but that could be potentially an option. Obviously, one thing to also look to kind of switch it a little bit is the pass that we created, the season pass, right, which we sold for a bit, is now closed. We'll have back a different type of pass when the game launches, right? So we will have another pass. It will not be as nice as the Pioneer one, because that's the whole point of offering it to you earlier. But the idea here is like if you really have plenty of horses and you're gonna play a lot, then pass like this, while yes, it is paid, but it will actually return in much more than what it costs if you are really going to play. Yeah, there is another question. Pulling it out. I don't know, Nick, if you want to answer this one. I can just say we haven't been talking to Paima. We looked at this. We know Paima exists. It's an interesting concept for the blockchain gaming stuff. If they were there when we started, we probably would be looking into that much earlier. Right now, we are building our own infrastructure for everything, right? And it's pretty much there. So now changing everything to fit it with Paima would probably be delaying everything further. So short term, there's no plans, but that doesn't mean it's out of question long term, right? Depending how the ecosystem will develop overall.
Right. It's people from DC Sparks, right? That split off in Midpaima, and I've been talking to their devs when they came out with their little game already working and everything on their own paradigm. So we did talk, and I know a bit of how it works and who I would have to talk to get more info about that. But yeah, like Marek said, I think we'd already gone down with our SIP and with a lot of thought about this and with a way to kind of do it on the L1. Because for equines specifically, there's no hundreds of microtransactions that need to happen for every like 15 or 30 minutes of the game, right? It's only a few updates that need to be done well, but it's not constant microtransactions on the blockchain. So for us, the level 1 of Cardano is fine, right? It's not a poker game where every hand you have to, update the state of everything to guarantee that everybody can just get up from the table and leave and everything would work, right? So in our case, it's kind of not necessary. It would be my answer.
Cool. I think this one we already had popping up in the past. It's basically asking if we'll allow other tokens as a race entry instead of ADA. And also here a kind of a broader exploration is to allow players to host races, which I think is what D-Race is doing, if I'm not wrong. So I think that part, the answer is for now simple no. We will not, like the racing will stay on our end, right? We might have special races for whatever, right? We decide like it could be like there might be an opportunity for having like a specific stable races in the future and stuff like that, or people who own specific skin or whatnot. But yeah, I think Nick, when it comes to like using other tokens instead of ADA right now, I mean, it could eventually be possible, but it's not the priority right now.
Well, yeah, technically we build that in the sense that we totally allow payment and rewards to be any combination of tokens. So it could be fungible, could be NFTs, could be anything, but we didn't limit it like in the code. I think your question means like, what if I want to host a private race between friends or something, and we all put 20 ADA, and then the winner takes 70% and whatever. Like have your own rewards distribution for that, like a friendly game. I don't know if you're trying to imply, and then there wouldn't be a cut going to equine. I don't know if that's implied or not. Then I would say not at all for version 1, but definitely something to consider at some point. At least we were talking already about guild races being a thing in the future. Once again, not for version 1 because it's not necessary for the game or for the game to be fun, but it's a cool feature to add, right? So guild races, and then friendly, friends only, like only people from your friends list could join after you created the race or something. That could all be possible. So I'm not discounting it for the future to do some kind of a friendly match, but I can't say that we're definitely gonna do it or anything. Yeah, no MVP. Exactly. Nice to have. I have a nice to have flag on Notion that I put on when you guys give us ideas. I create it, and I have a tag consider, and I have a tag nice to have, that so that we revisit those after we'll release version 1. We have a bunch of our own nice to haves and considers that have been pushed to version 2 for the future. So we're definitely gonna be thinking about that. Yeah, horse Escobar.
Version 5, I think.
Yeah. So Escobar, same answer as most things. Horse auctions for foals, or well, maybe that's a special mechanic, but I'll answer broadly and then specifically. Broadly is there's horses will play well with every marketplace ever and every auction house ever. So you just go on a auction house, right, and put it up. There's no reason, nothing is stopping you from putting your horse on auction. Then what you're saying, maybe horse auction for foals, is buying or auctioning off your foals before they're born, because I think that's a thing in real life, and you're implying that maybe we could support that. Then that would have to be a slight mechanical change on the code, because you'd have to have a voucher saying you can take the child away from a mother when she gets it later down the line. 1-2 years before you start racing. Oh, the kind of race where you, yeah, okay. That's a mechanic we've discussed that I know happens in real life also. Not for MVP. Not for MVP. Something we could think about adding after. It might be complex because that would probably means we need to have the auction part of the bracing smart contract, which would be kind of a big change. It might be like as big as making the race smart contract. So I just want to make sure that it's not like something that seems trivial but is actually doubling the size of everything. Yeah, the yearling auctions would be afterbird, just collab with an auctioneer platform. Yeah, exactly, Escobar. That would be probably the plan, would be to try to have that be a fit between, at the end of the racing smart contract, it goes into an auction smart contract that would not be ours if possible. Something like that. If it's because we can't do everything, right? We have to specialize into making the horse racing game. So we'll think about that. We have talked about it already, so that's already an hour considered. And now, okay, don't point. You guys are talking at the same time as I'm answering.
Yeah.
They're both not racing age yet. Yeah, okay. Lasting claim races will take this. What's claim races again, Mark?
Okay.
What's a claim race, Marek?
Claim race. So that's what the talk is about here. We had this discussion a while back, and of course, I'm not an expert here, but this is kind of connected with the new horses and auctions. So we definitely not MVP. We'll look into that. Okay. Yeah, auctions for foals before they are born would be a bit interesting, definitely. But I mean, I get what you mean. It's almost like, but that's kind of almost possible, right? Because with our tokens, well, it's possible with the stat tokens. If the stat is good, but that could be auctions instead of sold, right? On any platform that allows auctions. Cool. I'm being conscious of the time because we are 40 minutes in and we have the invitational to run. But the discussion is good. We can definitely continue it on the Discord. Any other questions? Otherwise, I will move us to a second part. And Troy, you can start joining. It might take a moment. So, yeah. Okay, so I think Nick, you can drop off unless you want to join the commentary part of the invitational.
No, I've got stuff to do at home. My family's still sick, so I'm gonna go.
Right. No worries. Hopefully they are getting better. So thanks for joining, and
thank you guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, and everyone, you can stay. We will just continue on the same live stream. I'm just going to change my screen share to this one. Okay, so we will have we'll have 4 groups, but let me first get Troy in, and let me have this.
Can you hear me?
Go on, Troy.
Can you hear me?
We can.
All right, so I guess this will work.
And you can see the screen from your laptop, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So Troy's on the phone and on the laptop. Double connection, just to get his voice. Like his laptop cannot handle his voice; it's too powerful. He has to do it through his phone. Cool. So Underground Invitational. This is number 16. We have done quite a few of those. First few words of the typical stuff, which is we are doing it using the Lovelace Downs fun game made by Eustacia. It's an awesome mini game with a very cute graphics and some cool engine, but please keep in mind that this is not an equine specific game. Obviously, the graphics is not what the game will look like. And also, when it comes to game engine, we did not share any details with Eustacia. So what happens there during the race is his imagination of how some of the stats will play. But do keep in mind also that obviously he doesn't have the visibility on the hidden stats, the mental stats. The jockeys are not part of it. And even when it comes to the physical stats, it's his version, right? So let's start with that. Just a reminder, because that question pops up regularly. I already mentioned we have 32 horses qualified from the 138 to 159 total stats. Troy, just try and make sure we are doing 2 laps sunny, right?
We are.
That's what qualification.
2 laps in the sun. Yep.
And the way it works is we'll have 8 horses racing. Top 4 are moving to the semifinal. Then we run semifinal, and top 4 are moving to the final. And before we do final, as I mentioned, we'll have a small competition. For all of you who are here and are watching with us, you will be able to put your bets on the winner before we run the final. And among those who choose correctly, we will raffle a Silks NFT. Just wanted to add a little bit of excitement and also a bit of appreciation for those of you who join us regularly to cheer on the horses and have fun. It's a fun community activity that we do, until the game is out. When the game is out, we'll probably evolve it a little bit, but I think the Lovelace Downs game will be there because it's just fun. It's easy and simple to use. Okay, so I guess we can start. Troy, I don't know if you want to. Maybe I can read off the names and leave you to the commentary itself. So in the group 1, we have Justice from Dale D'Anthony. We have Bogwasp from Nerd Alert. We have Haven from JPS. We have Perry from Gogoji. We have Sidonia from Ad Attitude. We have Grandma's do better. This is Tendra Lifter, maybe. Sorry, it overlaps too much. Cannot read correctly here. But if you give me a second, I do have it in another place. Tundra Lifter, yes. Then we have Notch Fox from Farmer and Sugar Scorpion from Nightburn 7. So with all that in place, we are going to run the heat number 1. But I'm just realizing now one detail that I didn't think of. You have to give me a second because I need to share my screen slightly differently. Sorry about that. Just 1 second.
A lot of good horses in this race. A lot of good horses. We got Gramps in this race. We got Nerd Alert in this race. We got.
So I'm going to share my whole screen simply because when we start the race, oops.
Oh!
I'm sharing the full screen because when we start the race, it jumps to another tab. And if I only share this tab, it's not going to work. So
look at all that crazy stuff on his computer.
Not so crazy. I have a few tabs open, yes. Not too bad. I keep my desktop clean, as you can all see.
You do? That's nice.
Yeah.
That's actually really nice. My desktop is so clean. I don't have any room left on my desktop.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday when you were sharing your screen. Okay. Let's get the run going. Can you confirm, because I don't want to jump, can you confirm that you can see the race screen right now?
I can see it.
Awesome. I assume everyone can see it then. 2 laps, sunny. Good luck to everyone. And Troy, I'm leaving it up to you for the exciting commentary. Starting
all
now.
Right. And we are getting in for the first race of this month's Invitational. Got some super awesome horses in this race. We're all lined up and we are off. Now, this is going to be 2 laps. So we're going to see what kind of strategy these horses have. They're going around the first turn, coming out the back. We got the 5 in front with the 4 behind it. 4 is kind of dropping down a little bit, maybe saving a little bit of that energy. We've got 6 up front, followed by 2. 7 makes a strong move, but then the 5 came up. Now we're into this second lap, going around the turn. 6 is still up front. 1 makes a power move. 1 is now up front, coming around the far turn. This is it. 1 is still up front. Is anybody going to catch 1? Oh, 1.
The answer is no.
No.
By the way, sorry for a stupid question. Troy, you're watching it from the stream, not from the YouTube, right?
Correct. I'm watching it from you.
Cool. Just checking. Okay, so here are the top horses that are moving on. So Justice, Notch Fox, Haven, and Tundra Life. Congrats, you're moving to semifinals. Better luck next time to Sugar Scorpion, Sidonia Perry, and Bog Wasp. Hopefully we can see you in the next, well, not the same horses because we'll change the criteria, but we'll see all of you joining the next race. Moving to Group 2, we have Raffle Elf from Speed Farm. We have King Kauta from CKJ Chambers. We have Digs Like Jesus from AC Shank. We have Flash from Falling. We have Thunder from Silly Lizzy. We have Ace from Lady Ace. We have Exactly from Raptors Australia, and Tomo from Tomo. Okay, so we are getting ready.
Silly's bringing the thunder this time. We'll see what happens here. And we're in. Oh, Thunder's a little restless. They got him settled down. And we are off. Here we go. Up front is 7. Whoa, 7 just dropped. 2 is, or actually, I guess that's 3. 3's up front with the 1. That rail on the 1 is looking mighty fast today. Coming around the stretch for the first time. Everybody's getting a really good look at that finish line. They all want to be there at the end. Coming around the far turn. 5 is up front, followed by the 1. 5 has a pretty commanding lead. 1 is stalking, though. Coming around the far turn. Is anybody going to catch a clover at the end? We are in the stretch, and it looks like it's all 5. Thunder. Silly brought the thunder.
Yeah. But then I think the third and fourth plate changed quite a bit at the very, very end. There were quite a few horses that were jumping around. So congrats to Silly Lizzy, Speed Farm, Raptor Australia, and Lady Ace. Better luck next time. AC Shank, CKJ Chambers, Fuleng, and Tomo. There will be other races. I'm sure you will have your chance to prove that your horse.
Hey, just as a reminder to everybody, you might want to be taking notes right now for the predictor challenge at the end. So make your notes now.
Correct. Okay, so Group 3. Here we have Oh Yeah from Edwin. We have Foam Stealer from Fox Hill Stables. We have Adam's Pride from Paul Franco. We have Stone Python from Subjectile. We have Sleep of Monster from Salocan. We have Up and Atom from Scooter Boots. We have Zinquin from Eras, and we have Dr. Moonshot from Escobar. Also quite an interesting set. We have quite a few interesting horses in those races, which is great.
We do.
And let's get it going.
I think Eraz and Escobar, those jockeys are kind of talking smack right now, sitting side by side in the stalls. They're off. I don't know. They looked like they were going to duke it out, but here we go. Whoa! The Escobar and Eraz are duking it out. They got something to prove. We've got 7 up front, followed by 6. And here comes 2-1, catches a little bit of wind there at his tail and moving up a little bit. We're already one and done. We're into the second lap, coming around the back stretch.
It's kind of old.
8 and 7 is really going at it. They were almost coming to blows in the stalls. We're going to see how this finishes up.
Number 2 at the very last.
Yeah.
Lucky Clover, I think, pushed Foam Stealer out of nowhere from like 4th place to the 1st. Congrats. Quite impressive. Also, congrats to Adam Sprite, Zinc Queen, and Stone Python. And surprisingly, we had a few horses that were doing really well, but at the very last second, there was not enough luck, I guess.
Right.
So Dr. Moonshot, Up and Atom, and Oh Yeah, they are not moving to the next round. Good luck next time. Better luck next time. And last,
and that's a good point to bring up. Even like what Fent said that he's doing, he's adding some hidden mechanics to the game. So even though you think you might have a horse or that you might not have a chance in a race because another horse is, got higher stat numbers, you always have a chance. Because of the hidden mechanics, because of the sometimes the luck factor. So everybody has a chance in horse racing. You never know.
Very good point. Cool. The Group 4, then it's Sammy from PB Clay, Le Mans from Suike, Black Fox from Louis B, Horsey from Chemo, Fluff Wanderer from Joanne Jack's Space Bags, Wood Flame from Ryboto, Mr. Ed from Rico Digital, and JJ Smother from Jackson 515. It's gonna be an interesting last quarterfinal. We'll go straight to semifinal after that because of the amazing update that we got to the software where it automatically codes everything and we just run it.
That's cool.
It's absolutely amazing. Eustacia is doing an amazing job on this.
We're off. 4 gets a small lead. Whoa! And then here we go. We got 3 up front, followed by the 1 coming around the far turn for the first time. And we are into the stretch for the first time. We've got the 3 up front, followed by the 1. 1 is awfully lucky today. 6 jumps up with the 3. Here comes 8. 8 actually is starting to pull ahead. 8's ahead by a whole length. That's not 8. That's not 8. That's 6. I'm sorry. 6 pulled ahead by a whole length.
And surprisingly, 4 went from the last place to the second as well. Very impressive. And again, of course, this is based on what Eustacia assumed for his engine of this mini game. But that shows you that sometimes all you need is luck, right? To go from the last to the first in a single lap. So congrats to Wood Flame, Horsey, Le Mans, and Fluff Wanderer. Better luck next time, JJ's Mother, Damnit, Sammy, Black Fox, and Mr. Ed. And that concludes the quarterfinal.
And for some of maybe the new people that are in our Lovelace Invitational, like America just said that these are interpretations from Eustacia when he created this. But also, just so you know, all of his thoughts for each one of the stats are pinned in the Lovelace channel. So if you go to Lovelace channel, you look at the pinned messages, you can see how he has interpreted endurance and stamina and speed and agility. Agility, for example, is the luck factor with the clovers. So anyways, all that information is there pinned.
Yeah. Cool. So we are moving to semifinals. We'll go straight to it because we are already almost 1 hour in this live stream and don't want to keep people too long. And it's also midnight here. So Group 1 of 2 in semifinals. We have Justice from Dale D'Antoni. We have Notch Fox from Farmer. We have Haven from JPS. We have Tundra Lifter from Grandpa's Doing Better. Thunder from Silly Lizzy. Raffle Elf from Speed Farm. Exactly from Raptor Australia. And Ace from Lady Ace. Quite a stacked field. Especially, I'm not even talking about horses, but the owners of the horses are here for pretty much every invitational. So I'm not surprised they are in the semifinal, but it's going to be quite an exciting one.
Here we go.
Sure. Okay. Are we ready? Let's start.
We're in. And we're off. 8 and 7 jump out. We've got, here comes the 7, or an 8 still stays up front, followed by 1. We got 1 up there, 8 still staying up front. Here comes the 5. We're hitting that finish line for the first time. 5 has a small lead by about a half a length, maybe, or about now he's pulling ahead a little bit. We got 5 up front, followed by 1 and 8. Right now, it's a 5-1-8 trifecta, or 5-8-1 trifecta, it looks like. Here comes the finish line.
Impressive. So we have Thunder from Silly Lizzy moving to the final, Justice from Dale D'Antoni, Ace from Lady Ace, and Raffle Elf from Speed Farm, which is also, when you think about it, quite amazing, because if you look overall at the stats, it's definitely a bit under, but it's very quick with a good endurance, right? So those 2 laps are probably giving him a bit of an edge. Better luck next time to JPS, Raptors Australia, Farmer, and Grandpa's Doing Better. It was an amazing race. It wasn't your race this time. And Group 2. We have Foam Stealer from Fox Hill Stables. We have Zinc Queen from Eras. We have Stone Python from Subjectile. We have Sleep of Monster from S. Salocan. We have Wood Flame from Raibota. Horsey from Chemo. Lamont from Suike. And Fluff Wanderer from Join Jacks from Space Packs. So let's go straight into it. We're not going to lose time. So yeah, let's start. See where it goes, how it goes. We know where it goes, to the end.
We're in. We're off. Here we go. We've got 6.
Whoa.
Huge jump. 7 coming back a little bit, followed by the 2. Here comes the 5. We're coming around the turn, our turn for the first time. 8 creeps up. Then we hit the finish line once. Wow, we got 5, 6, 7, 8 all up there. 5 is pulling ahead ever so slightly. We're in the back stretch, coming around the turn. Who's going to catch a clover? 5 is still up there. It is neck and neck, but it looks like 5.
Correct. Wood Flame did really well. We also have the Sleep of Monster, Think Queen, and Lamont moving to the final. And better luck next time, Fox Hill Stables, Subjectile, Join Jacks, and Chemo. Great race overall, but again, that was not your time. Here we are putting the final. So let me explain the rules. I'll create this round. So we have Sunny 2. I'm just checking. Top 3. There's no next round. We are just saying top 3. So we see the winners. So I will keep the screen open. Well, mostly open. I just need to send you the form. Just give me a second. I'm preparing the link. Just one.
This is a tough one. This is tough. All these horses are good.
Yeah. So you basically, and sorry, it's going to be a little bit messy because we don't have the numbers here, but 1 is the top. So Thunder is 1, Justice is 2, Ace is 3, Raffle Elf is 4, Woodflame is 5, Sleep of Monsters 6, Sin Queen is 7, and Lamond is 8. So in the form that I will send very shortly, you will be able to select a number, because we wanted to make it, well, easy on us, I guess. 1 second. Yes, now we'll get a crazy effect for a moment. I'm putting the form. So you should be able to see the form now. The way it works, when you open it, you will be able to basically select the number that you think the winner is. So again, 1 is top, 1 is Thunder, 8 is Lamond. Put your Discord name and your wallet address or ADA handle. So obviously we know where to send the prize if you are the winner.
Oh, you put the form on the. So you didn't put it in Discord. You put the form
No, not
here
Discord.
in the
Just
chat.
people who are here. It's in the chat. It's in the chat for the live stream. We'll give you, like a moment. Let's say few minutes, so it's fair for everyone. I can already see we have 2 entries, which is awesome. Third one jumped in. So keep it coming. I'm keeping it on the screen so you can easily identify which number. Again, number 1 Thunder, number 2 Justice, 3 Ace, 4 Raffle Elf, 5 Wood Flame, 6 Sleep of Monster, 7 Sin Queen, and 8 Lamond. We have 6 replies so far. There's still time to do it. I'm not gonna give you the answer now. I will not tell you, but I can tell you that from those answers we got, we definitely have 2 favorites coming in here. Will be interesting to see what happens. If you want, but no, actually we don't need to do that, because you can obviously see the winner from the previous round. You can see the top 4. You can see top 3 from group 2. You cannot fit all 8, I guess. Wait, maybe I can. Let's zoom a bit more. So just if it gives you some inspiration, we have 9 replies. How many do we have in our stream? 20. Should we give people 1 more minute before we close it? So I mean, we'll not. I probably, because I don't. It was created by Rachel, so I don't have the way to close it. But basically, based on the timestamp, when I say okay, it's done, even if you submit it later, let's say after the race is over, it's not gonna happen. So I see 11 replies. Last minute, last chance to enter your potential winner to win the Silks NFT. And it's gonna be very interesting because there is 2 favorites. If neither of them win, there will be a chance that no one will get it right. If one of them wins, there's definitely going to be a lottery and raffle. So last chance. I just got 1 more. So last 15 seconds. Let me just check maybe chat if there's any. Oh, we lost Troy. What happened to Troy?
Add me back?
Yeah, we
there
have
you
Troy
go.
back. Good that I checked. Okay, Troy is back. We have enough answers. I'm stopping it here. I think everyone had enough time to fill it in. Just last chance. If you didn't have time to fill it in and you want to tell me now, that's your last chance. If you are filling it now, if not,
if I win, I'll donate mine. I just
awesome.
put something. I just put it in just to participate
That's
without
okay.
donating
That's
back.
okay. Well, everyone here is fair and square. It's not like you have an insight that they don't have. We actually know less about this game that we know about ours. I mean, myself, right? Because Eustacia built it, so it's super fair. I'm not entering because, we are the ones giving the silk, so it would be a bit silly. But for you, it's totally fine. I'm not.
Oh, it's a silk? Well, maybe I won't donate it then if it's a silk. Yeah. especially if it's blue and white. I need a blue and white
We'll
silk.
have to see that. Okay, so I have 13 answers. I'm closing it here, and we are moving to the final. Reminder: this is a 138 to 159 with 2 laps sunny. Top 3 will win ADA prizes, and if you selected the right winner and you will get lucky with the raffle, you will get silks. So let's see. Let's have it done. Good luck to all the racers. And here we start.
All right, this is it. We are all in. This is for everything. This is for ADA. This is for silks. This is for everything. We're off. Here we go. We've got 6 jumps way out. 1 challenges right back and says, not today. We've got the 3 up front, but 1 is creeping forward. We got 1 on that rail. And then we've got followed by the 3 and the 2. There may be some lucky clovers. I don't know, but I'm not seeing any right now. We're on the back stretch. 8 is up there, but 1 is just powering through this race. Very commanding lead for number 1.
Yeah, it's quite a lead. Congratulations to Silly Lizzie, not the first win, very likely not the last. And I can now reveal that definitely that was one of the favorites here in
Oh,
this.
we all picked number 1.
No, it was still between 1 and 5, which was kind of predictable because that means that it was between. It was between the 2 winners of the 2 races. One really took this one. So what we are going to do now, as we are already live, why not? We have 8 people. I will plug the names into the wheel because why not? 1 second.
Let's see, 8. So that's like 1 and 13, 1 and 12. Your odds are 12 to 1.
No, it's 1 in 8. There's 8 people who correctly guessed.
Well, I guess that's true. I guess I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
It's okay. There was 13 entries, but 8 are correct.
I'm sitting there trying to do the math. I'm trying to go 8 divided. Let's say 100 divided by 8.
Okay, so we have 8 entries. I'm shuffling it because that's the right way to go. And you can see my wheel, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Awesome. Let's start and see who gets it. 1 in 8 chance. And
T-Cove.
Congrats. We have your
Nice.
address. So we will send it your way. I will see if today because it's a bit late. It might be tomorrow. Just might be a little bit easier. But this actually concludes the Invitational. Congratulations to the winners, to the top 3. Thank you everyone for participating. Thank you everyone for joining us because it's super fun with you. It would be kind of sad if it was just 2 of us there playing this game. So thanks so much. We'll see you again in 2 weeks for another town hall, and then next Invitational will be in a month or 4 weeks as usual. So that's it. Thank you. Signing off. Thank you, Troy, for your commentary.
Awesome.
As always, awesome to have you there.
Loved it.
Thanks.